Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Okay, it's time for the start of the summer anime of 2012. Okay, there are a few titles that have been going around that have appeared this week. Episode 2 of those titles, of the ones that just premiered, I will review next week. This week, I am starting with... Okay, this show is weird. This show is kind of freaky. Binbougami. And basically what that translates into, if I got this translation correct, based upon what I've seen, is this the god of poverty? I think that's what it translates to. Is this the god of poverty? Okay, basically, in a nutshell, what it's about is this girl, this rich, beautiful, busty girl named Sakura Ichiko. Not Ichigo, Ichiko. And she's, like I said, rich, beautiful, busty, and everything. And supposedly the premise is that this god of misfortune named Momoji, I'm correct in saying that name, hopefully. Yes, Momoji. God of misfortune named Momoji shows up and is told by this other god to go and correct this situation, because what is happening with Sakura is that she's actually sucking the fortune out of everyone else, out of her butler named Sawano, I believe his name is Sawano, out of the butler, and out of everyone else. That's what's happening. She has an unusual amount of fortune. She doesn't have any misfortune. That's pretty much the concept here. And what Momoji is trying to do is she's trying to suck most of her fortune out of her to a point where, she's a normal person. She's no longer a special person. If everyone gets my gist on that. So, that's it in a nutshell. That's what she's trying to do. Now, beginning of the episode, we have basically Momoji getting told by her superior god person that she wants her to go down to Earth, to where the humans are, and correct this. Bring it back to... This is almost... I want to say this is like Soul Eater or Bleach. It's weird to say, but it's that kind of show where you're dealing with a god. Like you got a death god, like a Shinigami. Now, this is a parody, mind you, show. So she's being telling this, and she decides then, okay, go down there and correct it. And she's like pissed off. She looks at the picture of the girl, and she's got huge tits. Sakura. She's got huge, whatever. And so it's over. And she comes off Sakura as a bitch, kind of, like one of those. She goes to school. Everyone's like so happy to see her, and she's got so much fortune. It's insane. And at one point, when she's in the bathroom, when she comes to school, and sorry about that. That was Skype. She comes to school, and she's she bumps into her. She hears these other students talking about her, saying, "Oh, she's such a bitch. I'm gonna choke her." And she's like, ha ha ha. She's laughing it off, saying, "Is that all I could come up with?" And then that's when she sees Momoji, and she gets scared, and she runs over across to the classroom It's a very quirky. This show is sort of like Naruto-san, but far more like, holy shit, A lot of parodies. There's a scene where she's thinking about herself, how pretty she is, and you see a scene of her looking like Medica from Medica Box. So it's very, very, parody-like. And the boys come to see what the problem is and says, there's nobody here. And she thinks she imagines it. And after school, she then goes to her, you know, her house, her driver. She has a butler named Sawano. Picks her up, and she goes home. And while she's taking a bath, that same girl pops up, Momoji, and is like, you know, and she's freaked out again. Let's get the hell out of here. You know, and then she finally meets up with her again, and then she tells her that I'm a god of poverty, and that you have too much fortune, and you're sucking the fortune out of everyone else, and, you know, and she takes out this huge fucking needle. She's like, huge needle. She puts it on her arm, her, I believe, right arm, and she's going to use it to suck it out of her. And I'm like laughing about this because it's ridiculous. But anyway, and then Momoji is totally, you know, saying, like, and then Momoji then tells Sakura, shows her what will happen if this goes through. And shows her being like a bum on the street, having so much misfortune like a normal person does. And she's so pissed off, like, why would I give care about so I can live like a bum to give, you know, and so on and so forth. And this all then brings up to her just trying to force her on it, you know, going and attack her and then running around the house in this apartment complex. And she ends up getting the best. Sakura's able to defeat Momoji and send her away. So Sawano takes her and the teddy bear. And she has this teddy bear that writes things on the thing. This is so kind of like Bleach in a way. Because you think like the teddy bear's like tone, but not really. But it's just so strange. And then she drops off the girl, the Momoji, and then that's what happens there. Moving right along, Momoji goes back to her apartment and plants like this trap for her. And but what ends on happening is after she plants the trap, she finds out, Momoji, that the butler has a heart attack. And she throws the bear in Momoji's school, and then Momoji sees it, and he says, oh, your butler is in the hospital, you should go right now. And then she's freaking out, completely freaking out, and she runs, and she goes to the hospital, and realizes that the doctors tell her what the story is and that he's not feeling well, and you might want to prepare for the worst. She goes back home and starts eating the birthday cake that he made, because he mentioned that it was her birthday. And that's when Momoji shows up again, and she's like, yo, you're the one who did this. And she complains to Momoji, saying, you're the one who did this. And they're like, no, you did. And that's when, and then Sakura says, I don't care, do whatever you want. So she takes the needle and stabs her in the chest and begins to take out the fortune. And that's basically what occurs. And then Momoji, with her crying, not Momoji, Sakura with her crying and everything, guess what she does? She does a suplex to her. She does a suplex to Momoji, and she takes the fortune and runs out. It's like, she's like, oh, fucking bitch. She's like, fucking bitch, I'll kill you. And then there's this little disclaimer. It says, but you're not a Shinigami. And she's like, I don't care. And then I forgot to mention this, but there was also another scene where you see how people with fortune and with misfortune, and one of the persons you see is Vegeta. But anyway, moving right along. She runs after her, throws cats at her and shit. Eventually, Sakura is able to get the better of her and goes to the hospital. She wants to take that canister of fortune and give it to Sawano. I believe that's his name. Hopefully I'm saying it right. If I'm not, I apologize. Sawano, yeah, Sawano. They give it to him and everything. So she's unable to do it. So instead, she breaks the canister, and all the fortune comes out and spreads to everyone. It's like, but the problem with that was it saved Sawano, and basically then After she does that, and Sawano he's back to normal, and because it seemed like there's more to this girl Sakura, by the way, Ichigo, than meets the eye. She's very alone and depressed. She doesn't have any friends, so you can see the situation here, which is kind of interesting. She then tells the butler, "You're fired because of the situation. Anyone who goes near her, their fortune is taken from them." So basically, it's like one of those things where Momoji needs to do this, because if she doesn't, she's not going to have any friends. She's going to be alone her entire life. And basically, after that happens, he goes, he gets fired, and he's going to go live his life then. And she goes home thinking, "I've always been alone, so it doesn't matter to me." And who's there? Momoji is still there. She's there in the house. It's like, oh. And then they have this fight and argument, like, "Oh, fuck you, you stupid bitch." Back and forth. They're fighting each other, saying, "You're not going to stick me with that stupid needle again," quote unquote, so on and so forth. And then goes to credits, and we get an extra scene with Sawano. She gets a card from Sawano saying, "I just got married." "Oh, really?" And that's how it ends. This is another show that is the genres for this show are comedy and supernatural. So it's that kind of show. It's not really like, we're going to get more characters later on. Episode 2 is going to have this priest, this black priest, which I found very interesting. I think his name's Bobby. No, this is done by Sunrise. This is the same people who do Gundam. So, but it's funny. It's energetic. I like the art style. I like the animation in this show. It's very interesting, the way they made Sakura, the way they make Momoji, and basically it's between these two forces. And see, the thing I look at is this from the show. It's an interesting show, because see, here's the thing. Here's the catch. Sakura's never had friends, and you see, I think first impressions right here, and I'm going to be reviewing these episodes episode by episode. I think it's in her best interest, no question, Sakura, to give away her fortune. Because if she gave away her fortune and lived a normal life, she can have friends, and she won't be alone all the time. At least that's the way I see it from the first episode. But what are your guys' thoughts? Comments below. Oh, by the way, it looks like Orphan won. Orphan is going unopposed in the verses. I just want to briefly state that. So I'm probably going to do a video tomorrow or Sunday or something like that about that. So, oh yeah. But that's all I got for you guys. First episode. I'll give this a 3.5. This was an interesting show. This is an interesting show. Interesting first episode. Well, let's see what this brings. It's very funny. It's very funny. I love the interaction between Momoji and Sakura. It's very ridiculous, to me anyway. That's all I got for you guys. Fairy Tail tomorrow. Look forward to that. And hopefully tonight I will try to upload an AV that I'm doing on the new channel. So, that's all I got for you guys today. Go check out Binbougami, a.k.a. Is This the Poverty God? God of Poverty. So, that's all I got for you guys, alright? See you later.